After a wonderfully refreshing break in Vietnam, thanks for all the messages by the way, the first video has to be a Vietnamese tribute. Vietnam has a rich history. When most people think of the country, they think about the war, but the Vietnamese were battling many other nations before the Americans. The Chinese, the Khmer, the Chams, and the Mongols all had their conflicts with the Southeast Asian nation. But I don't want to look at that. That's not what I cover on this channel. When I read the history of the country, I went directly to its cryptid creatures. So let's take a look. Welcome to IF, videos on history and mystery. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video again. Vietnam is a melting pot of many different cultures, and this has left a strange mix of mythical creatures from Asian beliefs mixed in with some Western influences. I wanted to find the animals of legend that were less mythical and could be more real-world cryptid specimens. This is when I discovered a colossal maritime centipede which is said to live in the southeast Vietnamese Ocean. Its body is made up of sections of hard plates and it utilizes knife-like blades to swim. This giant arthropod is known as the Conrad. The Conrad was first investigated by Western science in the 1920s when Dr. A. Krempf, executive of the Oceanographic and Fisheries Service of Indochina, led an exploration in search of the beast. Dr. Kempf discovered and interviewed an eyewitness who claimed that he had touched a beached Conrad back in 1833. The witness said that this first carcass found by a Tran Van Con in 1833 was that of a creature he claimed to be about 60 feet in length and 3 feet in width. Another report comes from HMS Narcissus, which was in 1899 travelling near Cape Falcon, Algeria. This when several of the seamen aboard the vessel spotted what they described as a sea monster. They gave the animal a size of about 135 feet in length and said that the sea creature had a large number of fins running along the side of its body, which they said it was using to propel itself through the water at a pace that had enough speed to keep up with the ship. They watched this animal for a total of 30 amazing minutes before it dived back under the water and disappeared into the depths. A third report comes from 1883. This is when a group of Vietnamese men found a headless corpse of the Conrad, which they say had washed ashore the Hong Gai beach in Vietnam. The head may have been missing, but the rest of the body was relatively intact, and these men went on to describe how it was formed out of segmented joints, which rang out like sheet metal when hit by them. According to the report, the carcass smelled so bad it had to be towed away into the sea. This meaning the world missed an opportunity to have an actual specimen of this mysterious cryptid. So what could this animal be? Well, I started the video by saying I wanted to steer away from the more mythical of Vietnamese creatures and look at those that are more plausible. This is why I chose the legendary Conrad. Cryptozoologists have hypothesized that a various selection of real-world animals could explain the Conrad. It has been proposed that the mystery animal is a primitive whale that is a relative of the Zeuglodons, and that it has evolved unique bony plates over its body, giving it an insectoid look. And while we have insects on the mind, others believe it to be some sort of giant crustacean or other type of segmented sea creature. It could also be a giant remipede, a creature similar to a centipede, but blind and ocean-dwelling. Invertebrates are some of the most frequently discovered animals in modern times, and if a giant invertebrate were discovered, scientists would expect it to be an oceanic creature, since the depths of the oceans are the only place where mainstream scientists believe giant animals may still lurk undiscovered. So it would seem that the Conrad has a high probability of being a real undiscovered species. Let's hope with more exploration in the Vietnamese seas we soon find an answer. It is not just the waters of Vietnam that hide unknown creatures. The country has jungles, and with almost anywhere that has forests or wild areas, there are legends of man-like animals that live in them. Cryptid humanoids are a global phenomenon, and Vietnam is no exception. let's go back to the days that most people associate with the country, the Vietnam War. The unfortunate soldiers faced the usual dangers associated with war, along with the hazards of being in a tropical jungle. One danger they faced, which no one was prepared for, were 7-foot, hairy rock-throwing hominids. These furry humanoids were said to live in the Vietnamese jungle and were referred to locally as the Nguoi Rung, or the people of the forest, as well as the Batutut or Ujit. The Batutut or Ujit, sometimes also known as the forest people, are yet another suggested hominid cryptid species similar to Bigfoot, Yeti, the Alma, and even the Orang Pendek. This Bigfoot cousin is said to inhabit the Vu Quang Nature Reserve and other wilderness areas of Vietnam, across the border and into Laos, and as far as northern Borneo. Borneo is a land that is often the focus of cryptozoologists and a home to many cryptid creatures that I have looked at here on the channel. Back to Vietnam and the Vu Quang Reserve. This wilderness area has been the source of several newly discovered mammals by a Dr. John McKinnon. The doctor has also claimed to have observed tracks of an unknown bipedal ape back in the 1970s. He went on to speculate that there is a hominid similar to the Meganthropus living in the jungle. Others have alternate ideas on what is hidden in the thick trees and bushes. Cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman believes that the Batutut are a surviving population of Homo erectus or possibly Neanderthals. McKinnon put his thoughts into print with the 1975 book In Search of the Red Ape. In this publication, the doctor describes his experiences and findings. He documents many different sightings. One such report comes from 1947, when a French colonist had a sighting in which he referred to the animal as a wild man. Vietnamese scholars refer to the animal as the forest man. They describe the hominid as being approximately 2.1 meters or 7 feet tall. They are covered with hair, the exception being the knees, the soles of its feet, its hands, and its face. That hair ranges in color from grey to brown to black. The creature walks on 2 legs and has been sighted alone and gregariously. The creature is most often sighted foraging for food, from fruits and leaves to langurs and even flying foxes. This creature has been seen across large distances, which could indicate that they travel great distances or that there is a larger population than first thought. In Borneo, witnesses describe it as being 4 feet tall and very aggressive, occasionally killing humans and tearing out their livers. These ape-like creatures were often spotted by men fighting in the jungles during the Vietnam War. Vietnam veteran P.J. Jorgensen reported a sighting of one such creature by himself and his team. The men referred to what they had seen as a rock ape. They gave a description of a being that was small in stature, about 5 feet, with reddish tinged fur. In another report, this time from the Vietnamese troops, it was reported that 2 Nguoi Rungs, wild men of the forest, were captured by tribesmen near Dak Lak province in 1971. Over the years, evidence has slowly been amassed to support the existence of these jungle-dwelling hominids. Professor Tran Hong Viet of the Pedagogic University of Hanoi, a researcher of the cryptid, announced in 1982 that he had discovered footprints similar to those found by McKinnon back in 1970. They measured 28 by 16 centimeters, and the cast he took can still be found today. There is even a much debated skull believed to belong to a Batutut. Sci-Fi's paranormal reality series called Destination Truth saw Josh Gates and his team go in search of the Vietnamese Bigfoot. They located human-like footprints and even took castings. These were then taken back to the US and examined by noted Bigfoot researcher, anthropologist Jeffrey Meldrum. Meldrum concluded that the prints were a significant discovery and one of the best pieces of evidence for a Bigfoot-type species that he had ever seen. So what do you think? Is there another cryptid human-like species running around and throwing rocks in the jungles of Vietnam? The descriptions and the behavior are very similar to what has been described in almost all other cryptid hominid reports. What do you think could explain the Conrad? Is it an as of yet to be discovered species or something that has been misidentified? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Competition time is running out, so make sure you go back and check out the video linked above for your chance to win a We Are If shirt. Thanks for sticking around while I was away, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that red button, like and share. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.